Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 5 of the AK Sports Podcast. I got my boy Chase Martin from the Purdue basketball team.
What's up,
Um,
guys?
Today we're gonna talk a little bit about Purdue basketball and then NBA predictions, and we'll finish off with an NBA tier list. So, starting off, what's it like being a student athlete, Chase?
Um, it's crazy to be honest. You're traveling all the time, going to all these games, and you got to do your schoolwork on top of it. But I don't know. It's good just having like good atmosphere, like Mackie and stuff like
Mhm.
having a good teammates around you. It's just
Yeah,
honestly, it's hard to handle sometimes, but honestly, it's worth it just for like all the fun you have and all the like excitement that's around it.
yeah, and I'm sure like a lot of the experiences you gain are like some of the stuff you'll like remember for life and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on what's it called? Uh, like what was one of your favorite moments from this year?
Probably the uh I'd say when we started off 12-0, that was fun. We were rolling,
Yeah,
playing really
good
good
momentum.
basketball. Yeah. Obviously our season didn't end the way we wanted to, but I you know, what can you do
Yeah,
sometimes? March Madness, you only get one game.
exactly. It is what it is. What are you looking forward to next year?
Just getting back to it. Maybe having the opportunity to go farther in the NCAA tournament. We lost some key pieces to our team, but we're still gonna be a good team. We added a couple good freshmen. Might add a transfer here and there. We don't know yet, but like just getting back to the NCAA tournament, trying to go farther, make a Final Four appearance, stuff like that.
For sure. I mean, we got you next year. That's all we need.
Yeah,
So talking about the NBA, who's your favorite player in the NBA?
LeBron James, without a doubt.
LeBron James. What were your thoughts on the Lakers playoff run, or I guess
I
the
I
lack
did,
thereof?
yeah. It was kind of disappointing to be honest. I
Yeah,
expected more of the Lakers. I think everybody did at the beginning of the season. The additions of Russ and some other
yeah.
veteran players like Melo, everybody had high expectations. Rondo
Mhm.
too, and
Right.
AD. We optimistic for AD to be healthy. I mean, LeBron performs above expectations as a 37-year-old averaging 30 points per game, which was,
Right. He almost had the scoring title, so
yeah, could have had the scoring title if he played a little bit more. Did get injured as much, but outside of that, it was kind of a disappointing season.
yeah.
Team didn't perform well. Missed out on the play-in. Didn't even make the first 8 play-in spots. Missed
Yeah.
out on play-in.
That's
So it's
tough.
like,
Because at the end he like injured his ankle and then it just went downhill from there.
yeah.
You think the Lakers should keep Russ?
To be honest, I don't think he's a great fit.
Yeah.
I still think he's a good player, but just I feel like he does a lot of what LeBron does, just not as high level.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like when you have two similar players on the same team, like there's only like enough of the ball to go around. So it kind
Yeah,
of like hurts one or the other.
yeah, they're both pretty ball dominant players. I'd say LeBron shoots a little bit better, but I mean Russ is still a great player. It's just
Yeah.
that I just don't think he fit with that system with just two heavily ball dominant players on the same team that do a little bit of the same stuff or a lot of
Yeah.
the same stuff.
hmm What would you say, like, who would you say is like would be a good addition? Like, if Russ were to leave, what was one player that you'd like to see on the Lakers at that position?
I think they need to get a Russ was a great playmaker, but I think they need somebody who can just score off the ball, a good shooter. Kind of like, I mean, AD hasn't been reliable this past
hmm
couple of seasons, really, just with the injuries he's had. But yeah, they just need a shooter,
Yeah.
somebody like who could shoot it really well, still create for themselves, create for others. They don't need so much of a playmaker because they already have a great playmaker in LeBron.
Right.
They have. I feel like they had some good role pieces, but I just didn't think they played well together, mainly because of all the injuries they had. Some people didn't play. Kendrick Nunn didn't even touch the floor this season. AD was
Right.
intermittent throughout the season. Melo played
Yeah.
had some flashes of being good.
Yeah. He had some
But
clutch
like,
shots in the regular season.
yeah. But yeah, they just need a good shooter. Somebody could space a floor for him, create for himself, but also play off the ball.
Would you like Dame in LA?
I feel like Dame would. Dame would be a better fit than Russ, but
Yeah, he wouldn't be the perfect fit.
yeah, I
I
don't
feel
think
like
he'd be
Chris
perfect.
Paul would be a really good fit
Yeah, he'd be good.
because he can shoot, make plays, same kind of
Yeah.
thing.
I don't know. LeBron probably wouldn't mind sliding off ball for like a true point guard like that.
Right. All right. So now we're gonna move in a little bit to the playoff predictions. So Atlanta plays Cleveland tomorrow, and then New Orleans plays LA. So who do you got winning, Atlanta or Cleveland?
Um, to be honest, Atlanta looked really good in their last game,
Yeah,
but
against the
also like,
Hornets.
yeah, against the Hornets. But also really, I like Cleveland's team. I like Darius Garland a lot.
Yeah, Garland's going
Um,
crazy.
I've been watching Laurie Marketing since college. She's pretty good.
Hmm.
I like their team. I like Cleveland's team. But I think the Hawks might get it just because they've been there before. They were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They have a already, you could argue, a superstar on their team. They
Yeah,
have the
Trey,
star
dude.
power.
Not enough people talk about Trey Young. He was the only one that like had high enough scoring with the amount of assists that he had this year, which was like the first time in NBA history or something, which is wild.
Yeah. So I don't think they get enough credit. I do think they've been overshadowed a little bit because they underperformed compared to what they were last season.
Hmm.
And last season, make East Conference Finals.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know how many games was they win, one or two games. I think
Yeah,
one game.
yeah,
But yeah, I definitely underperformed a little bit for the amount of talent they have.
yeah. John
But
Collins,
yeah,
Capella, all those guys.
yeah.
Yeah, but I do have Atlanta winning as well. And then I'm pretty sure this is an easy one. Pelicans or the Clippers?
Uh, I I don't know because I don't know about that one. I'd say that if my heart says the Clippers because they're just a better team overall
Yeah,
than the
same.
Pelicans.
Yeah, but the
But I
Clippers
don't know.
did lose to the Timberwolves.
Yes, the Clippers did do that.
Did you see
Um,
the Patrick Beverly celebration?
yeah, it's crying and stuff,
Dude, that shit
jumping
pissed
on
me off.
tables.
That shit pissed me off.
Yeah, he makes a lot of people mad.
Facts. Acting like he'd won a damn playoff series. I mean, I guess it was kind of like a game seven since it's the last game.
Yeah, it could have
Like
been their
do or
last game of the
die.
season. I agree with
Yeah.
if you saw what JJ Redick said.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like I don't know why everybody's hating on them just because they're happy about winning.
Yeah.
That could have been their last game of the season. They're just excited to keep playing. So nothing
Yeah,
really
I
wrong
feel
with
you
that.
on that. Yeah. And then we in the East we have Brooklyn at Boston. Or that's the different matchup for the play-in. Okay, so moving on. So we have the Hawks and we have the Clippers, right? So in the West we have the Jazz and then the Mavs. Who do you have winning this and in how many games?
I'd say Jazz, just because they've been a solid team over the past 4 or 5 years.
Hmm.
I mean, they've always been a top 2 or 3 seed. They haven't really made it as far. They haven't made it to the finals yet, even
Yeah.
though they have the potential to do so. But I still think the Jazz beat the Mavs.
Hmm.
Mavs with Luca. I think Luca's superstar,
Yeah.
but like I don't think they have. I mean, obviously they played really well this season and they finished pretty strong, but I just don't think they're a better team than the Jazz. I would
Yeah.
say,
And Luca's out for game one. So
yeah,
like that automatically puts him out. Luca, I feel like Luca just doesn't have enough pieces around him.
yeah.
Then we got Minnesota at Memphis. Who wins how many games?
Memphis has been a really good team this year. They've
20
won
and
a
like six without Jaw too.
yeah, they've won a ton of games without their superstar. So it's like they already have a great team. Add Ja in there, they're just hard to guard.
Yeah.
So it's like I think Memphis will probably win that series in six, probably six, five or
Yeah.
six games.
Yeah. I think 5 or 6 is I don't think it's going to a seven.
No,
Like
I definitely
six,
don't
the
think it. I
six
don't
is the
think
max.
Timberwolves. Yeah, I don't think it'll be pushed to a seven. I think six is probably like what I think it would be, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was done in five.
Hmm. And then what about Toronto and Philly?
I'd probably say Philly just because of the star power they have. Stars always perform better in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I know
Joel.
James Harden. Yeah, Joel. You wouldn't know what you're gonna get for him.
Yeah.
But like everybody's been kind of on James Harden recently because he hasn't performed up to his usual, I
Standard.
guess, standards of scoring. But I don't really. I mean, dude
Yeah.
averaged what 34, 35
Yeah.
for 3 quarters of the season about 3 years ago. So it's like you can't really count that dude out. And
Yeah.
like he knows how to score with the best of them. He's like third
Yeah.
all time on 3 pointers. So it's
Yeah.
like
Once like the whole rule change with the fouls, like drawing fouls and stuff, it definitely hurt him a little bit, but he's still been like, I'd say like a top 10 player.
Yeah, it's like I wouldn't say his game was predicated on it, but it relied on
Relied
it
on
a
it a
little bit.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like he's a bigger body, bigger guard, so he's
Mhm.
good at drawing fouls whenever he gets downhill, especially he has a good handle and he has good body control. So it was easier for him to draw fouls like by just initiating the contact. But since they've kind
Right.
of eliminated that for him, it's been harder for him to get those fouls.
Right. And then we got last up in the West, Denver and Golden State. This one's a hard
Um,
one.
yeah, a healthy Golden State, I could see making the conference finals.
Yeah. I could even see them making the finals.
Yeah, a
If
healthy Golden
Clay
State
was
is a very
full,
dangerous team.
yeah, if Clay was fully healthy, I mean, we all know the 72-9 like record, like they have potential to do
Yeah,
a
I was
lot.
like, I mean, they went 73-9 without KD or anything like that. So it's like they have the
Hmm.
potential to win a championship with just those three on that team. Plus, they have good young players now with Kuminga,
Jordan
Poole.
Poole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
James Wiseman's still getting healthy.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah, Andrew Wiggins too. Okay. Do
Wiggins,
you think Wiggins deserved the All-Star pick or no?
absolutely not.
I agree.
But
Yeah, I saw that, and he was a starter, and I was like, no way.
yeah, it's just fan voting. I think he's a very solid player. He
Mhm.
didn't turn out to the superstar like
Hype that
everybody
he
thought he was
had.
gonna be. Yeah,
Yeah,
they thought
like
he was
straight
gonna
out
be
of
out of
college.
college. But it's like even though he didn't turn out to be a superstar, he's been a solid player. He
Yeah.
has had all-star caliber seasons too, but he has just been a solid player. And I mean, you're still gonna make money being a solid player in the NBA. So
Hmm. And then in the East, it's dependent on. So they would play Atlanta. So Miami versus Atlanta. What do you got?
I'd take Miami.
Yeah, just
Just
because they're
they
the
just
number
got
one seed.
yeah, and they have a better team to be honest. Bam Adebayo is hard to guard at 6'10".
Hmm.
I didn't know he'd be that good coming out of college, but
Yeah, same.
he surprised me. He worked on his game a lot, so he's become more of a stretch four, like really athletic stretch four,
Hmm.
small five. But he worked on his game a lot, so now he's just tough to guard. Jimmy Butler's always gonna make it hard
Yeah,
on the opposing team's best player, and
yeah.
then
Jimmy Butler's a
also
good defender too.
yeah, he's gonna make it hard just on both ends of the floor because he can score a ball, he can define the ball really well,
Right.
and good.
Okay, so you have Atlanta and Miami. You have Miami winning.
Yeah, I had Miami winning just because Bam Bam's just tough to guard. He's mismatched, I feel like, at the 4 and 5 position just because he's so athletic and he can shoot the ball really well. They have good they have actually got a good deal of young players like Duncan Robinson,
Hmm.
Tyler Hero, Max Struess. I mean
Right,
they
right. You got a good young core.
yeah,
We got Brooklyn at Boston.
working out that's gonna be a tough series to call because I really like Boston. I really like Jalen Brown. I like Jason Tatum's game. I really like Boston Celtics, especially because they just flipped around midseason.
Right. And
Like they were in the
the
similar position with the Lakers were in midseason, like
mhm.
were underperforming basically, and then they went on like a 12-game win streak and really just turned up and finished the season pretty strong. I just think they have a good potential to get past Brooklyn because Brooklyn they have trouble keeping their stars healthy. Kyrie didn't play a lot of the season just because of missing home games because of his COVID,
Vaccine. Yeah.
yeah, vaccine strike kind of, which so it's like his vaccine strike is whatever. It's a different story, but like not having the team play together all the time is just
Yeah.
hard.
You don't have that chemistry. I mean, obviously they played last year, but even last year, like
Yeah.
KD was injured a lot of the time.
James Harden
Kyrie-
was injured and Kyrie would
Right.
be injured. They only played like 12 games together. And so
Yeah,
it's
and
like,
even this season they barely played any. And their like regular season record against Boston, they were down. They're like down 3-1. Like Boston won 3 games and Brooklyn won one in the regular season. So it just kind of shows you like what we
yeah,
think is gonna happen. Next up we have Chicago at Milwaukee.
Chicago at Milwaukee. I'd Chicago started the season off really, really well.
Yeah, towards the middle of it, they were really good when DeMar
Yeah.
was had his like MVP campaign too.
Yeah, but it's just hard to say I'd count out the Bucks just
Yeah,
because they're defending
Giannis.
champs. They have one of the best top three player in the NBA.
Hmm.
They have Chris Middleton, who's another star. It's just hard to like say that I choose
Yeah,
a Bulls team that has been had really high highs, but had lows too in the same season.
right.
When when you know, like when I know what to expect from
The
the
Bucks.
Bucks, or I know what I can get. I don't know what I can get from the Bulls because they just assembled this team this year. They've
Right.
just become good recently. Like they weren't good, they haven't been good for the past couple of years.
Yeah, whereas
So
the
it's like,
Bucks have been a little more consistent with
yeah,
young.
Bucks have been consistent. I know what I can get for them in the playoff time.
Yeah. And then in the West, we'd have the Clippers if we predict the Clippers to win against the Suns. I think this one's pretty easy too.
Clippers and Suns, definitely the Suns. I just think they're rolling. I just think they've been rolling the past couple of years now.
Hmm.
It's hard to like just pick against them. I feel like they have a good chance to make the finals again just because they're such a good team.
Yeah.
Have a Devin Booker is probably trying or ascending into a
That's a Devin Booker
superstar.
jersey too. Dude, yeah, I think that I still think Devin Booker's a little underrated. I don't know. People just like don't talk about him. People are always talking about like KD, James Harden, Steph, but I don't know. That might just be me. If you had to pick one team right now, like if you had to put your money somewhere, who would you think is winning the whole thing?
I'd probably go with the Suns. That'd probably be my
That's my
safest
pick
pick.
too.
Yeah, because East in the East, it's just been like there's been so much change from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. I mean,
Hmm.
the Bucks have been pretty static, just middle, kind of like they've just been in playoff contention the whole time. So it's
Hmm.
like they've been pretty static. But Bulls started off really hot, then dropped a little, some injuries, which was valid. But like now they're in the playoffs, but it's like you don't know what you get from them. Nets, you really don't know what you're gonna get from because they haven't been healthy, playing together a lot. But they
Yeah,
do have the potential to be the best team by far in the East, just because of the amount of star power they have on that team.
right. Yeah. So that wraps it up for the NBA predictions. Let me share my screen and we'll see if we can you see it?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Um let's start off with Paul George. Where you putting Paul George?
I put Paul George in a B or C tier.
Just
I
because
say
of
he's an
injury.
A tier. Yeah, A tier player whenever he's healthy, but right now he hasn't been healthy.
Yeah. All right, next up we got Bradley Beal.
I'd say he's an A tier player,
Yeah, I
capable
would
of
agree.
averaging. Yeah,
Yeah.
capable of averaging 30. So
Hmm.
great player. I don't think he
Right.
has that superstar power just because he's not a great creator for others. He's just I
Yeah.
feel like he's just strictly a scorer. I might sorry, Bradley Beal, if you ever see this. But yeah, I feel like he's more of a scorer than anything. Doesn't really make his
Yeah.
team a whole lot better, but he does put up a lot of points. He's great at doing it.
Yeah. Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson is A or B player based on I'd say B right now just because he
Has an
hasn't been
injury.
healthy. Yeah,
Right.
hasn't played. He didn't play for 2 years straight, and now he's back. He struggled a little bit. Well, obviously, nobody's gonna come back and just dominate after being out for so
Right.
long.
Hmm. De'Aaron Fox.
He's been injured a little bit too. I'd say he has a potential to if he keeps ascending to be an A player, but right now I'd say he's a B or C player.
Yeah. I'm assuming we both think KD's a B.
Yeah, KD's S tier. Been the
No
top three
question.
player in the NBA for the past 10 years. So
Yeah. Zach LaVine.
Zach Levine he's been trending upwards. You asked me the same question about 3 or 4 years ago. I'd say he's about a C player. I'd say probably he's B now.
Uh-huh.
He just doesn't have the star, like superstar status to be like an A. Definitely
Hmm.
doesn't have like the greatness to be an S because
Yes.
S is like potential like top 10 player all time.
Yeah. If he starts averaging like 20, 28 like for a full season and like they're a high seed and they're doing good in the playoffs and you could maybe move him up here, but for right
Yeah.
now, I think B's.
I say B's are stars. A is like superstar and S is like all
God.
time great.
Yeah.
Yeah, all time great kind of. Blake Griffin's yeah, I C or D tier. I'd
Yeah.
say probably D tier now just because
Because yeah.
it's just Ben Simmons D tier, keep him down there. Um
D'Lo.
D'Lo, um, you know, I like D'Angelo Russell, but he had that 1 year where he was an all-star. Was that when he was on the Nets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does have that all-star potential, but I just don't he hasn't done it consistently over the years.
Yeah.
So I bet C tier, yeah.
Carl Anthony Towns.
I say he's A.
A tier. Yeah. He
Yeah,
kind
I
of fell
just
apart against the with the Clippers, but other than that, this season he's been pretty good.
yeah, he's been pretty good this whole season. I'd say he's A tier.
Kemba Walker.
C probably.
Yeah, he hasn't
Yeah.
really done much recently.
Yeah.
Chris Paul.
A tier.
Yeah, he's a good.
I wouldn't say he's like he just makes his team better the whole time. He's always going to be an all-star. I think he's better than those guys in the B tier. I think he just makes teams win. I think he's
Right.
just a very cerebral player. He's always gonna be like produce a winning culture.
Right. DeMar DeRozan.
I might put him in A tier after the season.
Yeah, I think so
He's been
too.
really good.
I agree. Donovan Mitchell.
A B probably. B or
Yeah.
A. Probably B.
Yeah, I could go either way with that one. James Harden.
S. That's a S player.
Yeah.
It's I was placing that S tier on James off ceiling basically,
Yeah.
or what
Obvious.
I've
When he won
observed
the
him.
MVP that one year, he was insane.
If I'm basing off right now, I'd put James Harden in A, but
Yeah, I think for this season we'll put him in A, but ceiling definitely he's an S. I think we could put Trey in A as well.
Trey's A. Yeah, doesn't get talked about a lot just because of his underperformance of his team, but he's still an A player.
You think
Giannis
Giannis?
D, because they said he was better than LeBron. He's
Wow,
D.
actually?
No, he's S.
Yeah, he's S tier. Joel Embiid, I think
S. He's got to be
S.
S.
Yeah.
He's a
Andre
great player.
Drummond, D tier.
Yeah. He's just a rebound factory.
Yeah. Victor Oladipo, C.
C or D tier. I think he at the point in time he was just like he was gonna be like trending to be like a very good scorer and like
Mhm,
also a great defender. Who's like super athletic, but then he had a couple injuries here and there, so it's been hard for him to get back to what he was.
mhm.
So I'd say he's out C tier.
You think Luca A
Luca is
tier?
like I think Luca might be S tier.
I think so too. I think he's top five.
Yeah, in the league right now, he's certainly top 10. I'd say S is more top 10 players right now.
Yeah, that's fair. Jokic, S tier.
Yeah, Jokic's definitely S tier. But probably gonna be back to back MVP.
Yeah, I think so too. Kawhi, I think C. I mean, like obviously, like he's up here, but like because of this season, I'm gonna put him at C.
Yeah, definitely S tier player when he's playing the way like playing constantly, not injured, playing the way he should. He's an S tier player because he changes the game so much now because he's developed an offensive game and obviously he's been a lockdown defender.
Right.
But yeah,
Jimmy Butler B.
yeah, Jimmy Butler's B. Haven't had didn't have like crazy numbers here, but he's always gonna help teams win just because
Right.
good defender, great also elevated scoring abilities.
Right. Boogie.
Boogie's got to be C or D tier.
Yeah, there's
Hasn't
just
really
been.
had great seasons outside of his Pelicans tenure.
Yeah.
Ever since he left the Pelicans, it hasn't really looked the same,
Hmm.
just production wise. So I'm gonna have to put him C or D tier.
He's just been like all over the place too.
Yeah,
Steph S tier, no
S tier.
question. Kyle
I think
Lowry.
Steph is dangerous. Kyle Lowry's B. I forgot he was on the Heat too.
Uh,
Yeah, that Heat team is dangerous too.
yeah. LeBron James D tier.
Yeah, probably D. I mean, only averaged 30.27 at year
37
19.
at 37 years old.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis.
If we're basing off like how he performed this season, I put him in B or C tier just because the amount of injuries he had and how little he played at a time.
Facts.
But definitely he should be S tier
Yeah,
based on how good he is. But
he has potential for sure.
yeah,
Vucevic.
I'd say he's B tier player. He's been good.
Yeah, he's like an all right player.
Yeah,
Dame.
Dame has been A or S. I
He's
mean,
yeah, I think right
I'd say
now,
A this year just because like the Blazers just never win
right.
and they
He's
won't
just like
win.
he has potential to be up here for sure.
Yeah,
But
I don't think they will win just because nobody really wants to go to Portland. It's hard to get like star power in Portland. I mean, LaMarcus Aldridge left. I mean, CJ was traded away, I believe.
yeah, speaking of LaMarcus, where do you want to put him?
Probably C or D tier. I mean, he had blood clots last year, so that everybody thought his career was gonna be over. He came back, but he hasn't been like outstanding like the LaMarcus we know he could have been, could be.
Mhm. All right, and then we got Russell Westbrook. Where do you want to put him?
Uh, D tier. He let me down this year. No, I
John
wasn't all on the
Wall.
Russ. Probably C or D tier, just because the injuries he's had over the past couple seasons. A great player, has played at an A tier, but just been really had a string of injuries over the past couple seasons. So
Gotcha. Kyrie
Kyrie at his ceiling is S. I'd say A right now, just
for this
because
year. Yeah.
he didn't play that much, and I think he's still an S tier type of player, but Devin Booker's A tier, trending towards S though.
Okay. So this is our final list if we were to do it this way. Now, if we were to rank the top 10, let's just rank them this way. So who's your number one? I'm assuming LeBron.
LeBron's got to be number one.
Who's your number two?
I'd say KD's still two.
I think Steph 3 or Giannis 3?
I think 3 Giannis, 4 Steph,
5.
5 Joel, 6 Jokic, 7 Luka,
We got 8, 9, 10.
8, 9, 10. What would be
This
my
is
8,
hard.
9? Yeah.
I feel like we could put Devin Booker up there.
Yeah.
And then
I'd say
probably
DeMar or something. I mean, James Harden, whenever he's playing like the way he should, is top 10 for sure.
at DeMar. I would put Trey up here.
Trey has been playing well.
That's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Kyrie, when he's playing, has scored like what,
Right.
50s and 40s. I mean, he's an excellent scorer. I mean, I don't know how you go wrong playing Kyrie in the top 10.
I might switch Devin Booker and Luka just because of the success Devin Booker's had. But to be fair, like the Suns have always had a better team than the Mavs, so I guess you could go either way with this.
Yeah,
But other than that, that wraps it up for today. Thank you for hopping on the podcast, Chase. Really appreciate it.
no problem.
I'll catch you guys later on the next episode. Subscribe, like, comment what you guys think, and I'll see you guys later.